Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is Stu Webb here at StuWebb.com, and it is October the 4th, 2017, and it's Wednesday. And I have Tom Heneghan on with me. And Tom, you've got some really breaking news here on the Las Vegas shooters.
Yes, we do, Stu. First of all, we want to mention that, I believe her name is Miss Danley, the girlfriend of the shooter, Paddock, has been identified as an FBI informant. So she has been on the payroll of the Federal Bureau of Investigation for years. And when she returned last night from the Philippines, Marion Danley, I believe how you say her name, after being in Japan. So that's been confirmed by our sources in the intelligence community that are patriotic. And as you know, on Truth Warriors, Glenn has a tremendous piece up there, as I do on my...
Now that's YouTube, Truth Warriors, and YouTube, or Facebook, Truth Warriors.
As I do on www.tomheneghanbriefings.com. We now have a witness that the FBI apparently, we're not sure whether they've interviewed him or not. He wants to be interviewed. His name is Brian Houch. He was staying in room 3234 of the hotel in Las Vegas. And Mr. Paddock was staying in room 3235. Mr. Houch is from Australia, as is the Paddock's girlfriend, Miss Stanley. Okay, now he claims he has told Las Vegas police that he saw 3 or 4 shooters firing from the 3rd and 4th floor area of the hotel, the Doneley Bay. And that, again, is an actual live witness to the fact that there was more than one shooter. That's all over YouTube right now. Is the U.S. media covering it? No. Naturally. Now, he saw muzzle flashes coming from the 4th floor. So if you want to believe the alleged story being put out by the media, not so much by the Las Vegas police or the FBI, but by the media, the criminal U.S. CIA-controlled media.
Daddy Bush owned media.
You've got this guy, Paddock, is able to travel from the 3rd and 4th floor all the way up to the 40th floor. He shoots people from one floor and then moves up to another floor. Does that make sense, Stu?
No, it doesn't. No, this makes sense because I'm telling you from the beginning, once a shooting happens, it always keeps coming back to the Bush crowd. Bush's Daddy Bush. Daddy Bush. In this case, you got it nailed down to Daddy and Hillary, but it always comes back to the E systems, which is the CIA's covert, hidden bullshit that they do. Drugs with Jeb Bush, and they even had Margaret Thatcher's son on the payroll at one time down there. I mean, you know, this stuff was...
connection now here about windows being blown out and things like that. Of course, the Israeli art students did the same thing on 9/11 when they were part of the 9/11 attack on American people. But we have put together evidence linking the LAPD, Red Squad, and the Department of Homeland Security to a British intelligence-linked company called G4S. G4S is a private security team that the Department of Homeland Security outsourced. It's owned by the British to allegedly protect the American people on American soil. Well, if you recall the Orlando shooting in Florida, DHS contractor G4S was linked directly to Omar Mateen and his PSYOP team that killed 5 and killed 49 at the Orlando Pulse nightclub. You got the same type of event here taking place in Las Vegas. Very similar. If you remember, there was an individual by the name of James Wesley Howe of Indiana that was on the payroll of British intelligence G4S that was actually arrested by the LAPD. And, you know, the guy, Kevin James Loby of St. Petersburg, Florida, who killed the Orlando singer, was also employed by British intelligence-linked G4S and the Department of Homeland Security. We can now report that the girlfriend of the alleged shooter, a.k.a. Patsy, also was connected to not only the FBI, Division Number 5, but to the Department of Homeland Security and British Intelligence, G4S. She sent this $100,000 out of the country right before she left the country, right before the attack. This is similar to the travel activities of James Howe before the Orlando nightclub situation took place. British G4S obviously is capable of putting together assassination teams, putting together private, what would you call it, murder squads. And I believe that the girlfriend of the alleged shooter, aka Patsy, along with Paddock himself, were actually bagmen and bag ladies for FBI Division Number 5. FBI Division Number 5 and a bunch of Las Vegas casinos that were involved in massive money laundering, narcotic trafficking, and they were also involved in foreign currency manipulation, from what we hear. That's why so there could be a link too to the Japanese and Russian mafia here. But the bottom line is this: we connect the dots. This witness, obviously, Brian Houch, who says that he saw multiple gunfire from the lower levels of the hotel, when the media tells us everything came from the higher levels of the hotel, confirms multiple shooters in the presence of a domestic assassination team in Las Vegas that murdered 59 people.
Now, you might not be aware of the ownership, but I am, because I did the trail on Leonard Millman and the ownership that he had in Las Vegas, which he had inherited a tremendous amounts from Meyer Lansky. It passed on to the next Illuminati. Well, Millman got it, and Lucky Luciano, but it ended up in Millman's hands. Mandalay Bay is one of the ones they owned among half the strip. Okay, and a lot of fraud was committed on the tower out there, the one that stands 110 feet tall. Okay, I forgot the name of it. Here, I lived in Las Vegas. I remember those places. But Mandalay Bay was owned by Millman, which means it passed on to Larry Mizell. So he's the official owner of it. And you check the records on it, believe me, unless they're still consolidating and they're putting it in one holding companies, is what they're still doing, trying to manipulate. Now, when you have 400 men controlling 95% of the U.S. economy, according to General Accounting Office in 2012, that's sick compared to 1981 when Daddy Bush arrived and only 1% controlled 20% of the U.S. economy. It means 98% or 99% of us all were in control of 80% of our mom and pop's operations. Now, this has got to be clawed back. These people have committed nothing but crimes. It's organized crime, period. And they're criminals to the ultimate max. They're mass murderers. They're baby eaters. I mean, it's crazy crap that these people do. And they need to be stopped. People need to be prepared, Tom.
No, Stu, the interesting thing is that, this was a blood sacrifice. They had just, Bohemian Grove had just met, which includes, of course, the Bushes and Clintons. And Obama can't be a member of the Bohemian Grove because he's black. That's how the secret societies work. The big one was Gresham, Oregon, tied to Isley, had the Isley brokerage. That was where they had the big. He still owns the big. He owned Isley Nursery up there in Gresham, Oregon, but he owns the big farm over there still, where they go out there and do the hunting trips with Dick Cheney and I've heard that. There was a couple things, and I'll bring it up. Otis Johnson, who you knew, he's now dead, been stonewalled and killed. Like you were nearly killed, and I was nearly killed. Split skull, and you were in the hospital 5 times. Now, it indicated that at one time, when Bush was president, that he was running around. He was officially directly underneath. Who was the CIA director? The one that had been around for years, but was CIA director underneath Daddy Bush. Underneath Reagan. Was the original CIA director under Reagan, President Reagan. it slips my.
No, who was the? Yeah, but who was it? It slips my mind too. I can't think right now since I've had this concussion from the split skull. At times I drop off, but Otis worked directly for him, and there were things that had to be signed by the president from time to time. Otis walked into a human sacrifice at the old Navarre, Denver, Colorado. He said, "What the fuck?" Excuse me, ladies. Then he walked into a Dick Cheney, Henry Kissinger in a dress, Daddy Bush with no clothes on, but a shirt that said, "Before it's 8, it's great. After 8, it's too late." Man blow. T-shirt on. And they're sitting out there with shotguns and rifles. And they just brought kids in before Otis arrived. He goes, "What the fuck?" Excuse my language, ladies. Getting presidential orders signed in behalf of the CIA director. Okay?
Well, I can tell you, let's see
He
here.
saw this.
Asking me, Daddy Bush.
This is Daddy Bush. This is Daddy Bush eating kids in Denver, Colorado, at the old Navarre across from the Brown Palace. Okay? One of Millman's stooges owns the building now.
I can tell you this, when you look at the what's happened here in Las Vegas, this thing is it's so obvious now that this is British G4S that pulled off this.
William Casey. William Casey.
Yeah, William Casey was CIA director under Reagan. Here, I got director of Central Intelligence, encyclopedia here, CIA directors. You had.
Otis was one of 3 people that answered directly to William Casey.
Yeah, well, look,
okay.
We had 1987 to 1991. We had CIA director, I believe it was right here. We had Casey up to 87. Daddy Bush takes office.
Okay, well, it was in the 80s then when he was vice president, and in 81 when he took office and was in control of everything.
There were 2 CIA directors. One was William H. Webster, and the other was Robert Gates, who then was, was one of the linchpins of the Bushes and Clintons.
Yeah, but it was Casey. He was answering to Casey. He said so. That would have been the 1980s. He saw this.
Well, I
so
can
Bush
tell you
was
this,
vice president at the time that this occurred.
When you look at what happened here with the 3rd and 4th floor, and then you got the 40th floor, the 42nd floor, whatever. The mainstream media or whatever they want. I don't know how they mainstream. They don't tell. They can't record. All they do is lie every day. And so the story is shots came from above when they actually came from below. Doesn't that sound almost similar to a direct repeat of the disinformation they put out on the assassination of President Kennedy when they said the shots came from above when they were actually coming out of the sewers?
Yeah, they were. And that's what got the cop killed when the 3 hobos came out, or not 3 hobos, but 3 of the killers came out of the manholes. And they left one of them dead because he didn't pull the trigger.
That's right. And that was Operation Preempt. Run once again, outsourced by Britain.
That was Permadex involved, and it was also, there was the guy that came in and shot Oswald. Ruby was being financed by Leonard Millman through one of his cutouts at the time, financing his nightclubs. And then you had Daddy Bush directly down here. What, 6 minutes afterwards, you put the pictures out in Junior Fraud over the years, being in Dallas, Dealey Plaza, right there on the spot. And it was, the shooters were trained down there on the north part of Lake Poncho, or where they call it in Louisiana, is where they trained to kill Kennedy.
Right, and that was the same team that was used in an attempt to kill de Gaulle.
Yep.
Used to kill President Kennedy, and again, shots from above when shots come from below.
Look.
Well, and I'm going to say this to them. The oldest enemy of the American people is and remains the British monarchy. The British monarchy. Now, the media says we have a special relationship. Yeah, we have basically an attempt by the British to reoccupy this country. And when they, through the conduit, Israel. And I will tell you this right now. What they're doing right now is they're attacking, if you can see, ladies and gentlemen, listen carefully. They're attacking the Second Amendment. They're going crazy now with that, take everyone's guns away, and they're attacking the First Amendment. Oh, you can't get on the internet anymore. We have to have counter propaganda type of legislation to monitor what you're seeing. This is a direct attempt to destroy the U.S. Constitution once and for all, and it's being orchestrated directly by the Central Intelligence Agency, by the Bushes, the Clintons, and by the British monarchy.
And that friggin' Mizell in Denver, the money bag boy. I guarantee he's right in the middle of all of it, between the banks and between the media that he owns and controls. Larry Mizell, Daddy Bush, and Hill the Beast, a.k.a. Hillary Clinton.
Hillary was directly linked to the Orlando nightclub shooting. She's directly linked to this Las Vegas mass murder. And her co-conspirators remain Daddy Bush and, yes, Junior Sodomite Fraud.
Yeah, Junior Sodomite Fraud is right.
All these three individuals are mentally ill, full of dementia. Remember, they're involved in gross type of homosexual sex,
baby eating, chasing kids down and killing them after they screw them. God, the witnesses I've had and the stories I've heard, folks, when you're locked up as a political prisoner the way I was in 1992 to 1993 and then charges dismissed after 10.5 months and get sent to Siberia, USA, where I was locked up with 1,500 Iran-Contra players. I mean, they were involved in everything, from security frauds to bank frauds to lawyers being there. You couldn't believe what I met and what I got my ear full.
So I'll give you an example. Again, what we're dealing with right here. You talk about the British intelligence linked to ISIS. ISIS was created by British intelligence and by the Central Intelligence Agency. It was an offshoot after the Iraq was destabilized by Junior Fraud's illegal invasion of Iraq. The Sunnis lost power, and they created ISIS to regain power with all the oil. Who was financing ISIS? British Petroleum. Who were we supporting in Syria under Hildebeest, under the mentally ill lesbian Secretary of State? ISIS terrorists masqueraded as Syrian rebels. I talked to Congressman Tracy Goffard, Democrat of Hawaii. She's got the whole file on this, what took place. They won't put her on the air anymore. Now, that being said... Well,
we need to put her on the air.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
And I will tell you this, that we now know that Antifa is an offshoot of U.S. British intelligence ISIS, and that these people are actually getting training over there in Syria. Black Lives Matter is linked to this too. All CIA run, all CIA scripted. So when they talk about this guy's linked to ISIS, well, Antifa is an offshoot of British intelligence and yet none other than British G4S.
And you got the British side of it, and I brought out the British side. I think I posted it up about the cyber terrorism and the homeland security. And what our problem is we got a government that's been overthrown already. And now we have a president in there trying to do something, but he can't do anything because he's tied. And Jeff Sessions is supposed to be doing his job, and he isn't doing shit.
He's got the listen. The other day, 2 days ago, the NYPD came in possession of new email evidence showing massive communications between Hillary, her husband Bill, David Brock, who was the campaign manager along with the other homosexual, Robbie Mott. Massive communications with the Saudis, with Jeffrey Epstein, and flights that were taken by both Clintons to Orgy Island, Jeffrey Epstein, where they engaged where Bill had underage sex with girls and Hillary had underage sex with girls too. Hillary blocked 13 and 14-year-old girls. So, this was Timothy Weiner, the pedophile. This was Huma Abedin, the enabler, the female pimp.
Hillary Clinton's lesbian lover for how many years? 15, 16, 20 years?
Female pimp, as I call it. So, who is covering this up and trying to keep this from coming to the public? None other than the governor of New York State, Anthony Cuomo, the current governor. This is one of the most compromised, dirty, criminal pieces of shit that on the face of the earth. and he wants to run for president. I guess he can always replace his brother or his son, Richie Cuomo, the other little lying bitch, on CNN. Anyway, he's unelectable anyways from New York State, that being said.
Folks.
I mean, this comes on the heels of new evidence new email evidence being discovered. All you have to do is listen to H.B. Goodwin up there on YouTube. He's got the whole thing on it. He used to work for Bernie Sanders. They know exactly. But this woman apparently is above the law. She's above all. I mean, yes, she's got files on the entire U.S. government. And she got those files back in the 90s.
Who's this now?
So she's got these files that were given to her, by none other than Kenneth Starr, who was supposedly investigating the fact that she took the file. Because Kenneth Starr was basically, as we've discussed in the past, nothing but a...
Kenneth Starr was an obstructor of justice. He was there to cover up all the crap that was going on. You know?
Yeah, so now, we've connected the dots here on what happened in Las Vegas. We had an assassination team there. A British G4S, DHS financed assassination team that did this. And they did this from the third and fourth floor. They didn't do it from... And again, they got a witness right now who says he saw multiple shooters. Has the media reported this? No, but it's all over the internet. So here we go again with this crap.
Internet is a place that people are getting the truth, just like our radio program right here. When we put out stuff and put stuff up on the internet here, on stewwebb.com or on your site, TomHeneghanBriefings.com.
Right. Well, I've tried my best to get to the bottom of this over the last 3 days.
I know you have, Tom.
And it's very clear now. And again, is the shots did not come from above; they came from below. Yeah.
Now remember, E-Systems, it keeps coming back to, and I pointed to this because they were setting them off. And I'll tell you the story, and you can go up on YouTube/StewWeb1, or it's on my site under, and I'll make sure that I revise it in today's link with the radio show that we're going to put up, and you're posting on the shooter, Tom. Damn, losing thought. Hang on. Now I lost my thought. There we go again. Get a split skull and your memory doesn't come back. Boom. 9 months to 10. God, I can't even think. Sorry, Tom. You there?
Well, still, yeah, I'm here. I just want to say this, okay?
E-Systems. Here's what I want to say. E-Systems. Daddy Bush. MK Ultra, which is Manchurian Candidate, the old movie, go back and look. They've got this down to a science. They've been operating these guys since they were in the military, many of them. They set them down in the chair. Now, Otis Johnson told me all about this stuff. Otis was involved with E-Systems. It was where super covert 007 shit operates out of. And that's what he was. I met him in a jail cell in Denver, Colorado. The guy that was in the jail cell with him busted John Gotti. He was in hiding there. They were both in protective custody. I'm not going to say why Otis was there. I'm not going to mention it. But there was a lot of covert stuff I've heard about over the years. He became a friend. He gave me customers, which was fantastic, investors. But the deal was, E-Systems, he told me in the shooting, this video that I've got, it's up on my site, or it's whatever, CIA Terror in America I called it. I think Google gave me hell over it. After the Las Vegas, or in 1999, there was a shooting in Los Angeles, California, at a Jewish community center. The guy turns himself into Las Vegas. I'm living in Las Vegas, and he turns himself in full military fatigues and to the FBI and took a cab, $400 ride, to go to the FBI office and turn himself in. Now, I said, Otis, what's this all about? And he says, there's going to be more, I'm hearing. He says, I got my ear to the ground. A couple days later, I get a call, and he tells me there's going to be a shooting down in Fort Worth at a Christian community school, or Christian school. Sure enough, it happened. He said they were setting him off. It was Daddy Bush, CIA terror in America. He said, I'll try to keep my ear to the ground. He told me about 6 of them, right in a row. He said, go to the FBI studio. You're going to take a lot of heat, but see if you can put a halt to it. I did that. After the 3rd shooting, the FBI says, I can't talk to you anymore. A female, pregnant FBI agent who I'd met with, her and her partner. Anyway, the last one, he says they intentionally did it to find out where the leak's coming from. Because I had said it was going to happen in Houston and it happened in Louisiana instead. Or vice versa, whichever it was. Daddy Bush was taking these people that they had programmed when they were in the military, and they were the kind that they could program, and they'd say, oh man, we want you for defense intelligence. We want to put you, we want to see if you seem to are qualified, and we want to do a series of battery testing if you're interested in going into defense intelligence, Army intelligence, Marine Corps intelligence, Naval intelligence, Air Force intelligence, whatever it was. And they did this to him. And they set him down in the chair and they did the voodoo drug on him. And they ran a series of European phrases through their brain and find out what would trigger him. And then they figured it out and they chipped him. And these people run around chips. Now, there's about 5,000 of these people that the U.S. government have chipped. And they're all tied to E-Systems and Daddy Bush. Now, E-Systems is Raytheon Corp. The new Utah Spy Center in Bluffdale, on the south end, there's an alien base connected to it. And there's 6 floors underground because Otis Johnson flew out there with the U.S. General. I took him to the airport in his car.
And you're absolutely right in connecting all those dots. You know, another thing about this Nancy, this girlfriend of Paddock.
Daddy Bush's toys need to be taken away from him. I hope you're listening, Mr. President Trump. Daddy Bush's Raytheon and his E-Systems and his toys in the Bluffdale need to be taken away from the animal. He's threatening to kill you. Isn't that true? That's what I'm hearing.
We request that the U.S. military flight officers immediately have Daddy Bush, his bitch son, junior sodomite fraud, both the mentally ill lesbian Hillary, sociopath husband, and little cowardly bitch Bill Clinton, and Obama fraud. Be arrested, tried, convicted, and sentenced with extreme due prejudice for high treason against the United States of America. Now, I did want to mention real quick back to that FBI informant, the girlfriend of Stephen Paddock, that she had another name, Butstow. She had 4 different identification cards with 4 different birthdays. Has lived all over the country, Tennessee, Arkansas, Texas, California. She's well traveled. When you have somebody that's moving all over the country like that, from place to place, that's a traveling free. That's how the FBI Division Number 5 operates. Am I right or wrong?
You're right about that. They definitely do that. They just pay them cash off the payroll, and how they do is they hide it in cases and call it Informant 1, Informant 2, Informant 3. They just sit there and collect the cash. That whole damn thing should be shut down, the money-wise. That's how all these stooges, Ted Gunderson was being paid. That's how Tim White was being paid. All the trolls and stooges. And you got assassins. And these Kenyans that tried to get me. Okay? And then we got this other one, Jay Stevens, the drug smuggler. I still got to put a suit back in on top of their head on that one, on the car crash.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. We have such, but we have treasonous individuals in the U.S. Congress. People like little sodomite Lindsey Graham, who wants to start a world war in the Middle East.
And that John McCain, that treasonous punk, he answers directly to Larry Mizell. They're like it at the hip. He gets on his hands and knees to Larry Mizell, don't you?
Yeah.
McCain.
Treasonous punk out here in California, who is who is going to get a primary opponent now, this little CIA stooge, Ted Lieu, who's tied to this guy, he was tied to Iran and the Pakistani ISI. And he recently proposed legislation in Congress called the Counter-Propaganda Disinformation Act. Well, what does that do? That shuts down the First Amendment. And this guy calls himself a Democrat? This guy is a little Chinese Nazi. He needs to be deported immediately. Immediately. Of course, he works for Hildebrand. Works for Hillary, the little Nazi, the Nazi lesbian that wants to take all the guns away. So they want to take their guns away, then they want to take their freedom of speech away.
You know what a psychologist, psychiatrist, both combined. You know what she told me about Hildebrand? She said she's bat-shit crazy, was her exact words.
She's been crazy for years. I mean, we've documented her temper tantrums and her physical confrontations with her own husband. Her physical confrontation with the vice president's wife, Tipper Gore, over the fact that she put homosexual ornaments and crack pipes all over a Christmas tree. This has been going on for years with this. But you ask yourself, how in the living world, how in the hell can this woman, did she reach the place where she was very close to becoming president of the United States?
Illegally. Illegally. Stolen election, right. Almost. She almost pulled it off. Now she wants to overthrow the Trump presidency and the whole bit with her little fictitious game they've been doing all this time with Mueller and her little terrorist attack upon Las Vegas. This thing needs to be arrested, folks. You see her on the streets, you need to arrest her. You know what our government would do, Tom, to a terrorist? I mean, what would they do? They would go into Syria on a terrorist or into any other country on a terrorist and bomb the shit out of them.
She is a domestic terrorist.
She needs to be bombed, and they call it casualties. Okay, well, there was a bunch of Secret Service in there got hit, and a bunch of her lesbian lover, Huma, and a few others. They would call them casualties in another country. Oh, we took a terrorist group out and we had 50 accidental casualties among them. No big deal. I mean, hey, Kenny Buckport, Maine. These are terrorists. Mr. President Trump, do you hear us? These are terrorists.
You know, you get into this stuff over the years, and it's beyond anybody's belief that this type of activity could occur. I mean, we've described, we've gone from where an attempted coup d'etat is taking place right now against President Trump, and we're seeing this, the entire U.S. Constitution has been shredded. They're trying to finish the job with the attempt to destroy and take away the First Amendment and the Second Amendment, shred the whole Bill of Rights. And it's been going, it's been a step-by-step program, event after event, in order to accomplish this.
And we got these Satan-worshipping, they call them humans, Hildebeest, Daddy Bush, the Bush fraud family, all of them. Mizell, Larry Mizell in Denver, the money launderer, the Illuminati. Mr. President, do you know about Papoose Lake, Nevada, where the alien base is? Do you know about Richfield, Utah, right below Bluffdale, where the alien base is? Are you aware of the alien agreement of 54 to 2012 that was extended? Are you aware our government knows that there's 200,000 of these creatures that can shape shift that look human? They call them fallen angels, folks. Our government, our NSA, knows about them. And they know there's 10 million of them that have been cloned out of Hope, Arkansas on a base in North Dakota or South Dakota, where they've been cloning them since the Nazi crap of 1948. Along with the aliens, the fallen angels in their Papoose Lake, Nevada place. How do I know about that? Harry Rupp, Daddy Bush's CIA covert pilot that flew him every place, was a personal friend of mine.
So I can tell you this.
He was one of the CIA bankers moving all the money, wasn't he, Daddy Bush? All that gold he moved to Switzerland.
Another thing I want to report, this is very important.
He flew you in there.
We also have information now that the photographs that the FBI took of the machine gun on the floor of Paddock's apartment do not match the actual carpeting that is installed in Paddock's apartment. Guess what carpeting they matched? The match is to the carpeting of FBI headquarters. How do you like that?
This whole thing needs to be...
It matches the carpeting of FBI headquarters. These are sloppy people. This is they operate these coup d'etats or these black ops and psyops on a moment's notice without thinking it through. And the reason they do that because they know they can get away with it because they got this whole media, this whole group of Royal Court messengers and sodomites on television working for the CIA to lie for them. That's why. I mean, they're not even. I mean, and of course, it's you know, I just take you back once again. You go up on YouTube, you can check it out. It's right there. When junior fraud on election night in 2000, sees that Vice President Gore had 193 electoral votes and is heading toward an easy victory. Junior fraud leaves the Four Seasons Hotel, goes to the Texas governor's mansion to hack the election, hack all these states as we discussed in the past. But what he says before he leaves, he says, quote, "My man who was running Brody Technology, it's not working." You remember when he says that, Stu? You've seen it. He says it right on the air. He admits he's stealing the election, doesn't he? My man with Brody Technology.
Yeah, I remember there's something to do with that, yeah.
Give me a break. I mean, this is comical, all this stuff over the years. It's not comical now because we have American people being slaughtered on American soil by an outsourced British G4S assassination squads. That's what we have here. We made the connection between Orlando and between Las Vegas. It's clear cut now.
And we got FBI 5 tied to the shootings down there of the Louisiana cops. The black dude who was following me around all the time, tied to the Kenyans, that went down to Dallas. They don't know where he stayed overnight at E-Systems. And then he went down and shot the 5 cops in Louisiana. This was several months back. That guy recognized his picture. He was one of the ones following me around a dozen of these things.
So, you know, I mean...
That was back in 2010, Tom. You know?
What?
That was in 2010, that car crash. I need to put that up, show everybody the proof on it. It was redone. The cops lied and covered it up and the whole bit, but I need to put that up.
The FBI is in possession of photographs with 2 guns and 2 sets of muzzle flashes and 1 video. Okay, and they're embargoing. And I can tell you now, and again, remember the individual, Kevin James Lobel of St. Petersburg, Florida, who killed the Orlando singer, Christine Grimmie, Friday night before the Martine slaughter, was also employed by British intelligence link G4S, had a direct link to James Hall, the Los Angeles Police Department Red Squad. And what does this? When it comes out, you're going to find out that Miss Stanley was not only an FBI informant, a DHS informant, but she also had a link to British G4S and to none other than the LAPD Red Squad.
Now this is the wife of the shooter, the so-called shooter, right?
That's the girlfriend of the shooter.
Or the girlfriend. Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, this whole thing is unraveling here, and again, you know. I don't know what to, you know, you look at this stuff, it's a Alice in Wonderland type activity, and it continues.
Do you think, you know, I'm beginning to ask the question, I mean, people are going to have to get real with themselves here. We're dealing with a bunch of satanic fallen angels. And Daddy Bush is one of the 12 answering to him. Well, are they themselves fallen angels? I'm beginning to wonder. I mean, we got a lot of biblical stuff lining up here. I mean, these guys are in control of 95 to 98% of the U.S. economy. They're controlling 80 some odd percent of your entire pension funds. They're in control of your banks, your Federal Reserve, your media. They're in control of your government and toys of the government that are sophisticated that can kill you. In the Stonar, this latest game, they knock you out, split your skull like they did with me, and causing you nearly a heart attack, Tom. I mean, this is just all, and they allow these people to continue. Mr. President Trump, I hope you listen to this. Folks, send him a copy of this radio show. Somebody please send it to him on YouTube or not YouTube, but Twitter.
Folks, do I listen? I got to take my heart medication now, but we've updated people pretty much on everything that's going on. And if necessary, we'll be back with you, in touch with you late this afternoon with another emergency update. I want to thank you once again, Stu, for letting me come on the air here with you. You're a great patriot. I'm no Thomas Jefferson, but hey, my dad won a Silver Star on the beaches of Normandy in World War II. He defeated to help defeat the Nazis, and he had guts of 100 men, more than 100 men. And what I'm doing right now takes guts, but nothing compared to what he did. With that being said, I know you're in tough shape, Stu. You need some help. I'm in tough shape. I need some help. So if you can, go up on www.stewweb.com and give Stu some help. And if you could be kind enough, I appreciate the people that have helped. If you could help me out, Tom Heneghan, Heneghan, and I'm at 14806 Delano Street, Delano, Van Nuys, California, 91411. That's apartment 105. Tom Heneghan, 14806 Delano, Delano Street, apartment 105, Van Nuys, Danuys, California, 91411.
And I want to thank those that have helped out Tom and have helped me both. I want to thank you. Many of you, I haven't even been able to reply to you. Communications, if you look at what's been on my modem box, my Comcast, Xfinity, there you are. Take a look at it. Pine Gap, I mean, they're in there screwing with stuff. I can hardly even get on without getting firewalls blowing apart and everything else. So I apologize for not saying thank you in writing.
Thank you, Stu, and we ask the Holy Spirit to please continue to enlighten the American people. Damn the Bushes and Clintons and Obamas to the fires of hell. But reward the victorious, reward the American patriots, the glorious victory. Because God will step in. His power is almighty. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Tom.
God bless you.
You too.
Hey guys, Glenn Kennedy with Project.insearch.com. Today I just want to show you more results from my #1 program called Atlantic Global Asset Management, or AGAM as I call it. And I'm making the screen bigger so you can see this a little bit better. You can see how much I've made. Amount in, total input has been 21,246. Out has been 22,776. So I'm already totally on profit already. And how it works is this, guys. I didn't put in 21 to start with. I started out just starting it, on a green package for 810 euro. Then I got to a blue, then I got to a red, and eventually got to a black. And then I just kept compounding. I compounded for several months. Then I started taking out my money. Now I've got all my money back, and I'm making currently just about $1,300 a week. And this will continue to grow every single week as it compounds. And I look for, it looks like about next March I'll be at about $2,600 a week. And the reason that happens is, guys, let me just show you, is because you're making so much money by basically putting, let me just show you here. If I hit manage over here, you'll see how this works. There's 25 portfolio managers basically that work for this company. And you can see them right here. These are 25 different managers. Each one, some of them might have a gain, some of them might have a loss for the week, but when you average it up, let me just show you what the average is for ever since I've been in this. Go to the bottom of my screen. You can see here this last week it was 5.29, 5.46, 4.45, 5.16, 5.04, 5.5, and you can just see boom, boom, boom. I mean, the lowest it's been was 4 point something, 4.4, and there was one other 4.7. Everything else is in the fives. And guys, it's not that hard if you're in short-term trading and you have that many people to have an average like this. And I'm very, very happy with this. And guys, why don't we just let interest start making money for us rather than having ourselves be destroyed by credit card interest? So get in whatever package you can afford. Don't strain yourself. I mean, if you have to start with 90 euro packages, about 110, then do that. But add to it, because the whole point is you want to get compounding every week so that you can buy additional packages. And that's why every single week I make more and more, because part of my money is going into more packages, so it increases my weekly earnings. And so guys, I want you to get more information about this. All you got to do is email me at glenn@nsearch.com. And if you're ready to go right now and you've got if you've got the money set aside for this, just email me your Skype ID and your phone number so I can get you involved with one of my trainers. Now, if you want to read more about it, just go over to project.nsearch.com, click training, and click this download my free strategy guide right here. And I've got that information on AGAM and a couple other programs that I trust. I only trust about 2 or 3 programs, guys. AGAM's my #1 pick, and that's why, because it's made me money. I'm totally profit now, and it's all gravy at this point. So now interest is working for me instead of against me. So if you're interested, get back to me. Thanks so much, guys. Talk to you soon.